Hello, everybody, and welcome to Top 5 New Comics for September 17th of 2025. I'm, as always, Chris, and I'm so excited about this week. Let's jump right in, starting with The Batman, Second Night #1. This is written by Dan Jurgens with art by Mike Perkins and colors by Mike Spicer. I really loved that first volume of The Batman. I think it was First Night for that one. It takes place during the Great Depression. What if, kind of Batman had been around back then with all the things going on, some supernatural elements added in with it. Just a great Black Label series that really just done in that prestige format, a great use of what Black Label should be. Yes, I know a lot of the criticism with Black Label is it's like, let's do a bunch of Batman stuff that's basically Elseworlds, but whatever. and but I don't care. Like, I loved this series. I love what Black Label's doing. Seeing them jump more out of Batman's fun, but hey, if they want to keep giving me great out of continuity Batman books told in weird different ways and weird different settings, I'm all here for it. I love that character. I love the Batman. We all do. And to get this book in particular, I didn't think we'd get a sequel to it. I really didn't. I thought it was kind of this one and done thing, 3-issue prestige format book that we'd look back on fondly and always kind of go back to as like, hey, you guys should really check out the Batman kind of thing. And I'm just so happy to see the original creative team here coming back to do another volume of it. Cannot recommend that first volume enough, and I will be super stoked to pick this one up. And honestly, this is a week full of it should be the top of my pile books. But with the next book, you'll understand what the top of my pile book is, and that is Marvel DC Deadpool Batman #1. This is a ton of writers and artists on it, so let's just stick with Zeb Wells and Andy Kubert as the main story artists and writers, but you can add in Chip Zdarsky, Kelly Thompson, Al Ewing, Kevin Smith with the writers, as well as Dike, Ruan, and Greg Capullo and a bunch of others doing stories in here as well. The list goes on and on. So I don't think I need to tell anybody why this is exciting. The first time in a long time, I think over 20 years now, we're getting Marvel and DC crossover comics again. Now, if it just ends with Deadpool Batman, cool, at least it happened. We're all happy. I don't think it's going to end there, though. I think we're going to get more, and this is just the start of something really cool. And what I like what they're doing with this one shot is it's not just Deadpool Batman. Deadpool Batman's the main feature. We got two of the best at Marvel, Zeb Wells and Greg Capullo doing the main story there, and hopefully telling something really cool. We can go on about it's cool to have Greg Capullo back on Batman, even if it's a Marvel published title. But honestly, for me, I love the idea of doing little backup stories too. Let's tell cool, different crossovers, quick 4-6 page stories with characters that we would like to see crossover. For me, this one just leads the excitement because not only is Daredevil Green Arrow one of the crossovers with Kevin Smith writing it. Holy shit, am I excited about that. Daredevil that Kevin Smith did back in the day, Marvel Knights, is one of those books I go back to as the reason that I'm such a huge comics fan. And then when I read his Green Arrow decades ago now, it was another one of those books that I'm like, holy shit, like this is out of this world. What Kevin Smith was doing during that time in the comics industry, few and far between, was just another realm. So to see him with these two characters, bringing them, crossing them over, that's going to be a ton of fun. Getting to see Chip do more with Captain America, the title that he's doing at Marvel right now, crossing with Wonder Woman. I mean, the list goes on and on and on for this book. Beyond the historical significance of this book, beyond the excitement around this book, just everything happening. Wednesday after work, get home with my comics. This is the book I'm picking up first thing. No question, no hesitation. This is going to be it. I feel like if you're a comics fan, this is probably the best-selling comic in 20 years. I can't see it going any other way. If you like comics in any way, shape, or form, this is a book you need to pick up. And this is coming from somebody that does not like the character Deadpool at all. So that should tell you all you need to hear about it. Cannot wait for Wednesday to come for this one. After that, Marvel Zombies Red Band #1. This is written by Ethan S. Parker and Griffin Sheridan, with art by Juan Bazaldua, colors by Eric Ananigia, and letters by Travis Lanham. Apologize if I butchered any names, but I'm trying my best over here. Every year, Marvel does a Marvel Zombies book around this time of year, going into October. And every year I pick it up. And I mean, if we're being honest with each other, there's good and bad. There's been some really good Marvel Zombies. I mean, if you go back to the old Robert Kirkman stuff, you can't miss. Some of the runs, not so great, is what it is. But it's a series that I adore, because it's one of those things that when I got back into comics, I picked up Walking Dead and fell in love. And then I started reading about this guy, Robert Kirkman, who to this day is a writer who I adore and will read almost anything he does. And I read he did this book, Marvel Zombies. And I read a bunch of Marvel growing up, fell in love with that world. And even when I got back into comics, I was picking up mostly Marvel stuff. So to see this book, I was like, holy shit, this is really cool. Let's check it out. And it's just been a lifelong obsession since then. So anytime they try it, I'm here for it. We'll see how this one picks up. I like the creative team we have here. I think the writing team is really great. The art looks phenomenal. The cover is like one of the best covers for Marvel Zombies thing I've seen. There's a lot of good going for it. And then at the end of the day, this red band gimmick, and it is a gimmick, but I love a gimmick can be a good thing. Gimmick can be a bad thing. I think this is one of the better gimmicks Marvel's done in a while. These kind of R-rated comics that we put in with characters that should get an R-rated comic. Wolverine. Yes, let's see Wolverine actually uses claws. Punisher, of course. Marvel Zombies, hell yeah. I want to see all the violence and all the blood in a zombie book. So this is another one. If it was any other week, this would be the top of the pile because of how much I love the brand. Excited about the cartoon coming out and just to see what they're going to do with it. So Marvel Zombies, check it out. After that, I have Invincible Universe Battle Beast #5. This is written by Robert Kirkman with art by Ryan Otley and color by Annalisa. Speaking of Robert Kirkman, I'm pretty sure I've told this story before, but not short after loving The Walking Dead, falling in love with it, finding a local comic shop who I really like vibed with, and him realizing like I love Kirkman stuff and I love superhero stuff. Hey, did you ever read this thing Invincible? And it was in the middle of the run, so it was like, hey, a few volumes, you catch up and you can start reading it. I fell in love with it. It's one of my favorite comics of all time, to the point where I have most of the issues in single issues. At one point I had all the trades, and I have all the omnibuses, compendiums and all that. I love the Invincible universe. And so getting back into Battle Beast has been a ton of fun. I think it's a great action book that doesn't ask too much of you. I don't really think you need to be a big Invincible fan to enjoy it. If you like a good gory action book with some of the best art in the business from Ryan Otley, this is a great book to check out. And it feels like in this issue, we're going to get the secret origin of the prince that's been walking around with Battle Beast through this. And alongside that, maybe get to see the big fight that we've been leading up to for 4 issues now. So a lot of fun stuff going on here. This book's been a blast. And the last issue was such a twist and turn and a good time, like way better than it should have been, just because you didn't need to do much with Battle Beast. And Kirkman, of course, had to go the extra mile. So it's been a great ride with Battle Beast. And then we will end with No Man's Land #1. This is written and drawn by Seisman Krudansky. So this book got announced a while back, and I've been a big fan of Seisman for a while now. He's an artist writer who doesn't do a ton of work, but when his stuff comes out, I'm there for it. If anyone has heard me talk about on my podcast before or on this channel, Blood Commandment, or in particular something epic, these were books that I really just fell in love with because of Seisman's art is phenomenal, but then he is telling interesting stories alongside of it. He's not just an artist who throws together a story to do something. He really builds his worlds and in his comics to be something grander. These are something that will withstand the test of time. So while he may not be rich today from them, I think that he will see plenty of readership grow throughout the years just because of how good they are. It shocks me that he's not more of a, it might be the name because it is a very Slavic name that's tough to say sometimes. It's not like a Robert Kirkman or a Jim Starlin or something like that, but don't let that fool you. Like, he's one of the best in the business. Seisman's work is phenomenal. And I'll say, if you've never read anything by him, check out Something Epic. Something Epic is just a wonderful story that's heartbreaking and just tells amazing stories about characters that are eerily similar to characters we know and love. And I just cannot recommend it enough, while at the same time just being this heartbreaking story about a son and his mother. For this one, he's going back in history, and it's a part of history that I'm always very interested in reading more about because I think there's so many good stories we told, and that is during the Cold War, during the 1960s. And he's got this patch of land in Russia where it's not even patch of land, it's a waterway where the ice freezes over and you're able to walk past it for a period of time, but something has happened. It could ignite a war between the US and the Soviet Union. So the FBI and the KGB have to get together to solve the murder, or else the ultimate end could come. The nukes could fly. And it's a cool place to set a story. It's a cool idea for a story. There's so many good things here, and I can promise you that the art's gonna be phenomenal. So everybody, that's everything I have for you this week. Thank you so much for watching, and if you want to support the show and support what I'm doing, best ways to do it on this video: like, subscribe, share, comment down below. Let me know what books you're looking forward to. You can check out my Substack, which is at chriscomicscorner.substack.com, or check out the podcast, which is Fort's Comic News, on all your podcatchers worldwide. So as I said, that is everything for this week. I'll see y'all here next week.